We've got a Sims inline diesel injection pump. This one's mounted on a Ford Lehman 2715E in a boat. This pump has its own separate oiling system that's not tied in with the engine or the crankcase, and it needs to be changed at regular intervals. I would say as often as you can afford. Every 50 hours or so would be great in a perfect world. Some people go a lot longer, some people probably never do it and probably have pump problems. Easy job, you only need a couple tools. Thing only holds about a pint of oil or so. We need a screwdriver. This is our fill cap up here. This one's a slotted screw. Head's about 3/4 inch diameter. I'm going to loosen this up. I'm going to leave it in place just in case anything wants to fall in there. We can keep the crap out. Need a 1/2 inch wrench. We got a drain plug. That's at the bottom of the pump. And then this nut right here, this will tell us where our oil level is inside here. So if this pump is making an excessive amount of oil, we know that it's gonna need service sooner than later. Not sure how much time we can get, but something to keep aware of. Or if it smells extra, smells like fuel, you know, more than oil, or you're gonna have a little bit. It's not a big deal, but keep things in mind. These got some crush washers on there. I've already got a funnel in place and a catch can below it to catch the oil so I can dispose of it properly. And another little catch can here. And a glove just in case, but sometimes those get in the way, who knows. We're going to open this up. This is going to let whatever excess oil in the pump, or if it was slightly overfilled from last time, we're not real sure. Take that out, careful not to drop your crush washer, make sure it stays with it. These engines are running red fuel, the color red. So that'll also show up in the oil here. You'll see a pinkish tone to it. So as that drains, which may take some time, we don't know. It's hard to see in there. Usually not a whole lot of extra comes out, and that might just be from a little bit extra on the fill from last service. So in our jug here, we can keep an eye on that and see how much we end up with. And then you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Really, I'm doing it for my own reference. You can go straight for the bottom plug, drain it out, throw new oil in it. You can analyze the oil as you'd like afterwards, or measure how much comes out. That'd be another way of determining how much oil you're making in your pump. I'm doing it this way, like I said, for my own reference. Takes a little bit longer, but it's a rainy day outside, so it's alright to be inside. And the engine's warm, so that helps too. So we got our plugs still out. The excess is drained off. Really isn't a whole lot in there. Maybe about a ounce and a half. Small amount. Nothing to worry about. It looks a little bit thinned out, but that's normal. That's gonna happen. I'm sure it's not a brand new pump, and I'm sure even those have a little bit going on too. So I'm just going to snug that, keep it in place, so we can control any excess oil spillage. And get this drain plug out. Funnel is already in place, but we gotta watch out so we don't drop this drain plug. This is when a glove comes in handy. And these are fine thread on here, so that you get a few spins on them. Set that on the rag. Make sure everything's draining into the bucket. Yeah, we can let that drain out. Get the rest of our stuff ready, as in fresh oil. I use straight 30 because that's what I'm using in the engine itself. You can use whatever you want. There's probably a whole lot of opinions on that on any internet forum or site. And that's all fine and dandy. Whatever makes you feel good at the end of the day, go with that. Any oil spillage you get, use that to your advantage. Wipe down anything else that looks like it hasn't been wiped down. Alright, so we took a short break. Let this pump drain out. It only takes a few minutes. It only loads, the book says 90% of a pint. So not a whole lot of oil in there. And we're going to get one last drop there. Get the funnel out of the way so we can operate in here. We're going to put the drain plug back in. Seals with a copper. I got copper crush washers on this one. Some might be aluminum, but the body of this pump is cast aluminum, which can be brittle, delicate at least. We're not going to test it, but make sure that all the sealing faces are clean. This washer's only been torqued one other time other than this, because I did the last service on this pump. So I'm going to reuse the washer. It's clean. I know it's still soft, so I trust it. As far as torque, obviously you don't want it loose and you don't want it too tight. I'm sure there's a torque spec for it. I'm going to go by feel and just keep an eye on things. It's only a 5/16 bolt, or it looks like that, 5/16 fine thread 24. And being all soft metals and soft threads, we don't want to damage anything. So, the plug is in. We're going to remove our fill screw here. I have another funnel that I'm going to use. It's been cleaned. We'll just set that in there, hopefully minimize any spillage, and hence more cleanups. I'm using a mixing cup. Works out great. It's got a bunch of measurements on it. Some of them make sense, some of them don't. But I poured a pint of oil in here, so I know that if I pour the whole thing in, it's probably too much. We can loosen this one because this is our top fill hole. So when oil starts to steadily come out of this. We know we've got plenty in there. We don't need to add any more. And we can always reference our measuring cup here to see how much we actually added. And this is 30 weight. Same as what I use in the engine here. Be nice if you could find it on sale these days, but not a whole lot of things are. And sorry about the time, we'll try and speed things up through this. So now, that's about 14 ounces in there. We'll give that some time to drain. And here it comes. So, grab your rag. Catch any of that, which should be minimal. We still got about an ounce or so in there, a little bit less. So we know we're at our proper range. These get changed often, so I keep an eye on it. I'm not worried about having an overfill problem. Again, make sure your sealing faces are clean. It's a metal to metal seal. There's not an O-ring on this model. Although, maybe yours has one. Maybe I'll get bored and add that feature to this. So I'm just wiping that face off. These are in good shape. I've cleaned these up before. Because these are about 40 years old. So it's tapered off, as some would say. We're going to cap this. Tighten this down. Just like our drain plug that we tightened. And give it a gentle snugness by feel. If you've ever stripped threads before, you know what that feels like. You don't want that. And if you've ever had to fix that, you also know what kind of fun that can be. So we're going to take it easy and not do any of that. Alright, so now we're ready to put our little cap in the top here, take the funnel out. Again, this one doesn't need to be overly tight. It's not doing much but keeping dirt out. And that's it, other than some wiping down, a general cleaning. We'll get all our extra pieces out of here, our funnel, our catch can, so we can dispose of the oil and move on to the next job. Any questions, comments, be in touch. If you're having a hard time finding any manuals or information on these particular engines or even these injection pumps, I've got a couple copies of the books, and there's plenty of them available PDF form on various websites that I've seen. And that should keep her going for till the next time.